Hey there, how's it going? Welcome to Looplearnings, and this is video number 3 and part 2 of making the database. And welcome. If you are coming new to my channel, welcome to Looplearnings, and if you are returning, welcome back. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you get notification whenever I upload a new video. Now this video is a continuation of the previous video. If you haven't watched the previous video, I would strongly recommend that you watch that. The reason I'm asking you to do that is because I have explained everything what we are doing. I have explained properly what is ribbon, what kind of tables options are available, what is data type, what is the meaning of data type, and what data type you should choose whenever you are creating a table. So that's why I'm recommending that you should watch the previous video. That will add value, because in this video I'm going to get right into making the tables that are remaining. So we have been working on it, and we have this Microsoft Excel file created on it. We have the information about database tables, what database tables needs to be created. So that's what I'm going to get right into it. As I suggest, if you are watching this first video, I would strongly recommend watch previous one as well. Okay, so we were done making tables until session, I guess. Yep, until session. We don't have table yet for the subject, just to make sure. We don't have, so we'll start with the subject. So I just copy the table name, go to ribbon, create table, right click, design view, subjects T. Okay, now we'll simply copy, and that will remain auto number, class ID. It will be number field. All right, so whenever we choose number field, we have to get rid of this default value 0. Subject name, then we have status, and let's reduce the field size to 25. Status date, so date and time, and I would like to choose short date. Done. Let's move on. The class scheduling. Now the purpose of this table, I should actually explain the purpose. I forgot to do that for the previous table, but I'm sure it's not so difficult to understand why that table is required. Now, class scheduling. Now if you have seen my previous video, session. So session is a subject for a class, for a section, will be taught by teacher. Now scheduling is basically putting together everything and sort of making calendar and saying, okay, for class 9 section A, mathematics will be taught from 9 to 10. You get my idea, right? Likewise, you create a scheduling, so your teacher knows what classes they are going to teach in a day at what time, and your students also know what classes they are going to attend at what time, at what date. Yeah, that's the idea. So class scheduling, that's why the table is going to be created. Okay, right click, design view, class scheduling T. Class scheduling T. All right, now schedule ID, session ID. So for which session we are creating this class. Okay, so we choose number field, and we remove this 0. Teacher ID, which teacher is going to be teaching this class. All right, session date, when this class is going to happen, and we choose that as a short date, and from which time we choose that as date time, and short time. Yeah, short time, what it is, I want to see. Yeah, that's correct. So we copy it, paste this, because the data type for the end time will exactly be the same. Next one is duration. So what would be the duration of the class? So we choose the number data type, double, and we remove the default value 0. Status, and we change the field width to 30, and the status date, we choose date time and short date. All right, that is done as well. This, I'll come back to this table later because I have to do the explanation, so we follow the story. All right, next table we are going to create is about fee. So fee type, the purpose of this table is to store the information about the type of fees, admission fee, we have uniform fee, transportation fee, additional fee, extra fee. The schools and colleges, the type of fee is completely different. It varies school to school, institute to institute, right? So fee type ID would be auto number. Fee type, so what is the fee type, and the status, and we reduce that to 30, and the status date, and we say it's short date. That has to be chosen here, right? Short date, not there. Okay, so that is done. Now next, fee structure. Now fee structure is basically predefined information. So the idea or the objective or the purpose of this table is to store the information related to a class. So for example, a class 9 admission or teaching fee or faculty fee, whatever. I don't even recall the names of the types of fee, but you can say that for class 9 faculty fee or education fee or teaching fee, whatever you call it, is 1000, and for class 10 is 1100, something like that. So that's why for each class you want to store this information, so it will be like a predefined information. It will sit there in the database until you tap on this table and fetch the information whenever you want. So that's the idea, that you create a structure, fee structure, and you just let it sit in the database. So that's what we are going to do here as well. So create table and designed view, structure T, structure ID, that remains auto number, class ID, for which class we are talking about, the fee structure, what is the fee type ID. So this is the table that we have created just now, right? So number and default value, remove it. Then what is the fee, and when it comes to money, always choose currency. And the status will be short text, but the field type size will be reduced. Status date, so it will be short date. All right, so fee structure is done as well. Now let's come to fee collection. So this is where we come and say, okay, for student X, this much fee is due for this month and this year, and we will collect using this table. So your fee due information and fee collection information, all of that will be stored here. Although you can split this table into two as well. So for fee due you can keep a separate table, for fee collection you can have a separate table, but it's a small application. I'm just giving you the idea that you can do in that way as well. So fee collection T and collection ID, student ID, it will be number field because it's an ID, secondary key. Year, so we'll call it AY, academic year. We'll have number field and remove the default value, copy that. And next one is month, so for which year, for which month the fee is due. That's the idea. Previous balance, now this is the currency field. Now what do we mean by previous balance? I want to keep the decimal points. By name you can understand, right? Previous balance mean if there is any balance for this student, that if there is a balance, fee balance that yet to be paid by this student, so when we are collecting the fee, of course that previous balance will also come in there as well. Okay, so what is fee due? Fee due currency as well. Okay, and you have default value 0, decimal places 2, right? So previous balance, fee due, fee collected. Okay, this will also be currency. We'll keep decimal places 2, default value, we'll remove it. And what is the balance? Okay, So balance calculated field. Now for this we have to do certain calculation. We'll say, okay, so what we will do, we will add up previous balance plus fee due. Okay, previous balance plus fee due, and that will be minus with the fee collected. Okay, and the reason is previous balance, of course we will add the previous balance. Let's say we have $100 for the previous balance, fee due is another $100, so your total due will be $200. And now how much is being collected? Let's say $150 are being collected. The remaining $50 will be a new balance for this particular student. You getting my point? That's the idea. So this is where we will use the little mathematical equation. We'll open parenthesis and we will say previous balance plus fee due, and we will close the parenthesis, minus fee collected. Now you must be thinking, hang on, why did you put parentheses? Well, as far as I know, first mathematical rule is whatever is in the parenthesis, calculate first, and then you move on to the next. I may be wrong, but I have studied this long time back, so I may be wrong. If I am, please do let me know. If it is correct, great, give a thumbs up, right? Okay, so I guess this is, so previous balance plus fee due minus fee collected, that would be the equation. Result type, we want to have currency and decimal places too. Okay, so I think our equation is correct. Let's see when we are actually developing, when we are actually using the VBA code. Okay, status date, so here we'll have date and time, format would be short date. Okay, so that's it. Fee collection is done. Now fee balance. Now you would know why we have created. So fee balance, the objective of this table is to kind of store the information related to whatever balance is left. So from here this balance will appear, right? So that's the idea. So it's like a warehouse for the balance information. So fee balance T. All right, now balance ID would be auto number, collection ID would be number field, but we are going to remove 0. Student ID, I'm going to select this so we don't have to repeat the same thing over and over. What is the balance, right? And this will be currency field, we'll have it decimal points 2, and we'll remove the default value. Status, and we'll change the field width, status date, date time, and we'll keep it as short date. All right, that's it, that's done as well. Now let's move on and let's go to the last set of few tables that we are going to create. So let's move on to exam. Now we are done with the fee exam category, so that would be the first table. So what do we mean by exam category? Well, exam categories are categories like, is it monthly exam or is it annual exam, is it biannual exam? That's the category I'm talking about. Okay, so first field we will have exam category ID. What is the category itself? Status, and we'll reduce it to 30. What is the status date, date time, and it would be short date. Okay, that is done. Next table we'll have exam type. Now the purpose of exam type table is to store the information about the exam, and for example we'll store the information such as, it's a practical exam, it's a lab exam, it's a theory, it's a multiple choice questionnaire, different types, right? And we will then say, okay, for which class, for which subject, what would be the passing mark? So that's the idea, to keep that information. It's similar to fee structure that I explained. So similar to that, exam type table will also be created to keep the record of for what class, for what subject. So let's say class 9, subject mathematics, passing mark is 80%, let's just say. So this will be created. So whenever we run a exam scheduler, exam scheduling will automatically be created, and then based on that the exam will be allocated to a student. Okay, so we'll move to the scheduling later. Passing mark. Oh, okay, so I haven't done anything. I thought I've added already. So exam type, exam category. Okay, and number field will remove default value 0. Class ID, number field. Why these are number fields? Because they are the secondary fields or secondary keys. Subject ID, passing mark, so we'll have number field. I think we'll keep it as double, but we'll see if we are going to change later on. Status, okay, so short text, and 30 is the field size. Status date, date time, short date. Okay, so that's the exam type. Now exam scheduling, and the objective or the purpose of this table is to store the information about the exam and result. Okay, so this is a kind of scheduling, like a date sheet is given to a student that you will have so and so exam of so and so subject on so and so date and time, and so this is what the student will get for the preparation. So that's the idea, exam scheduling. So we'll create that table. Okay, exam scheduling T, exam ID, exam date, date and time, okay, short date, exam type ID. Okay, so we'll have number field, and we'll remove the default value to student ID. Okay, I'll copy that. Student ID, start time, so I'll copy this, start time, but here instead of short date, I will say short time, and end time. Okay, and duration. So what would be the duration of this paper or exam? And obtained marks, so it would be number field, double. Okay, a result will be a short text, and the reason I am keeping short text is because I want to build automation. If obtained marks are less than the passing marks, then make it fail. If it is equal to or greater than the passing mark, then make it as pass. So we'll remove that. Sometime maybe teacher would like to give, or examiner would like to give any remarks, they can give here. And status, and the status date. Okay, short date. All right, this table is done as well. So I think we are done as of now. We are done with the database, building the database schema, tables. I think we have covered a lot of things. We have covered students, admissions, classes, sections, sessions, employees like teachers, etc., faculty, subjects, scheduling, fee balance, fee structure, fee collection information, fee due information, exam type, exam scheduling. Now we are done with this. I'm going to study this again, and maybe there's something I need to modify, something I need to add, something I need to delete perhaps, or something I need to change perhaps. So that's what modification mean, by the way. But I'm going to study that again. The reason is because this is the first step, and if we are really good at constructing the basis of our application, which is the database and database schema, then our journey in making the application will be much easier. That's why I would like to spend a bit time here and try to understand whether everything will work or not. So this means that this is not the final database schema or the fields that are inside each table. I might come up with the next video and say, okay, let's do some changes in the database schema, because I want to make sure that we are as correct as possible. If you spotted something that I missed, that is incorrect, please do let me know in the comments below. That would be much appreciated. Anyway, next video we will create the relationship in the application. So if you are interested, then please do watch that video as well. If you like whatever you've seen, please smash the thumbs up, share it with others if you think it will be helpful, and subscribe to the channel if you have not yet subscribed. Hit the bell icon so you get notification whenever I upload a new video. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.